Today we're going to be doing a HID headlight bulb change on a 2007 Toyota Prius. Only need 3 tools for the job: Phillips head screwdriver, flathead screwdriver, and a 10mm socket. First step, we're going to take out 3 plastic pins. Just use a screwdriver, pop it up, and it will come out. Next step, use a Phillips head screwdriver to remove these 2 rubber pieces. Next step, there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 plastic pins that require the use of a Phillips head screwdriver to back them out, and then they'll pull out of place. Then this plastic piece will come out. Alright, on the other side, we've got 7 bolts holding this airfoil on. You can either use a Phillips head screw on them, or a screwdriver on those, or a 10mm socket. I'm going to go ahead and use a screwdriver. Be a little bit quicker. This skid plate here needs to come out, so there are 4 bolts along here that do not have a Phillips head screw to where you can screw it, so you have to use a 10mm ratchet to get these off. Now this skid plate will come right out. Alright, now to get this airfoil the rest of the way off, there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 more bolts along here, screws along here. You can use a Phillips head screwdriver to do that. These clips here, for the reassembly process, you need to note that these clips are attached to this skid plate, the second skid plate that was under the one that was exposed. These clips will go around the bumper cover itself in the reassembly process. So before we put the airfoil back on, we need to make sure each of these clips are exposed to the outside. Alright, we have 2 more hex head bolts, hex head screws. I have a place for a Phillips head screwdriver to go into. By the mud flap on each side is going to have to come out. Notice again, these also have the clip that is going to have to go over the bumper in the reassembly process. Alright, now there's a screw behind here that holds this bumper the rest of the way on. Once we get those out from each side, then we'll be able to remove the bumper cover. Notice that fender well was on the inside of the bumper cover. We want to make sure that we get it popped back into place after reassembly. Now to get the bumper cover off, I have to pull these sides out. Pulled out on both sides, and then we'll be able to go from there. Want to be cautious about this. In the disassembly and assembly process, this ear here could come up and scratch the body, so be aware of that. Alright, next step, we're going to pull here, we're going to pull up here by the headlight, out towards the front of the vehicle. Do that on both sides. Next step, we're going to pull the bumper off. Please note, if you do have fog lights, that they're going to be connected and they're going to need unplugged. Right in here, where the fog lights come unplugged, simply push with your thumb there as you are pulling down. Alright, with the front bumper cover removed, there are 3 bolts that are holding, 3 screws that are holding this headlight assembly in place. This one here is number 1. Number 2 is up on top, right here. Number 3 is the dark colored screw. With those screws removed, we should be able to remove the headlight assembly from the car. Pull straight out. Notice there are several different connectors here. Got 5 different connectors. Up at the top, the gray one's going to be towards the inside of the car. Just push there and pull it out. There's a darker connector right behind it. Now with that removed, take it over to the workbench. Now you want to make sure you put a soft cloth down, that way you don't scratch the front of the lens of the headlight. Lay it down on its face. We're going to unscrew this assembly here. It turns and then pulls off. It only turns about 1/8 to 1/4 of a turn. Now with that removed, we're going to take this, we're going to rotate this about 1/4 of a turn. And then that pulls off. There are 2 pins down in here. You have to push them down and pull them back towards yourself to release that bulb. Pull it out of the way, the bulb will come out. Alright, now the new bulb came packaged like this to protect the bulb itself. You do not want to touch the bulb glass with your bare hands. The oils will make it, will damage the bulb, make it not last as long as it should. So to get it out of the packaging, it unscrews. Here's the new bulb. Notice there's a groove in the bulb and the actual plastic here. It is going to have to line up with that aluminum piece there. So as we slide this in, it's in there like that. Pull these metal clips down and around, latch it into place. We take this connector. There are 2 pins on this bulb. They're going to have to fit into these pins here. Now we have to put this cap back on. Make sure you don't pinch this wire. This here is going to line up. These are going to line up in these holes. And they'll only go on one direction. Make sure you push it down. Rotate it around until it locks. If you notice, I'm not sure if you can see it in the video or not, between here and here, between these 2 wings, it says open right here. It has an arrow pointing that way. Over here, it says lock with an arrow pointing that way. Alright, now we're gonna put the headlight bulb in there. With this back tightened, we're gonna start plugging back in all the connectors. We're gonna make sure the bulb works. We're gonna turn on the system, make sure it works before we get it all bolted down. So we'll start on the lowest side. These will only go on one direction. Push it till it clicks into spot. With them all in place, we'll set it back up. I want you to notice the difference in color between the 2 bulbs. This is the 6000K brand new bulb. This is the stock original bulb. You notice this bulb's got a little bit more of a blue haze to it, while this one's more of a natural white light.